Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to assess the similarity of musical tunes. We've come a long way. We've got the user interface. We've got a couple of ways to input one transformation you can optionally do and one report. And we want to clean up the way we're handling this pipeline. So let's see what we got. All right, so I ran tests just now. So let's just run the app. All right, I changed some colors and stuff offline, put in a background and so on. But what we're really after is we have the pipeline on the right, and I can add quantizing. So all the stages of the pipeline coming through. And then when you say run, we process it basically. Let me open a file. Okay, no scaling.txt, and we'll quantize it and run. All right, now something is wrong. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to start the day tracking that down. We don't have an actual parsons code output. Oh, I turned off file input. That's what it is. We can't, right now our pipeline isn't smart about keeping track of who's active or not. So let's try that again. I guess we'll have to run again. Okay, we'll open no scaling ABC and quantize it and run. Okay, and we get this input file. It puts the file name in there. It puts the quantization information and then the parsons code report itself. And all that is done by running the stages of the pipeline through. The pipeline itself is, well, it's really just an array at this point. That's ugly. So we pass in this array I just touched about the different stages. And then let's go see parsons code view. Right now, parsons code view is doing the pipeline work. It does the reduce and transforms the packets and all that stuff. Well, that's not really how we want it to work. The parsons code should really just know the parsons code, and the pipeline should know how to do the pipeline stuff. But since pipeline is just an array of transforms, it doesn't manage it. All right, so our goal is a big refactoring. We want to turn this into an object, and then we can work on this, improving this object. All right, so tests are passing, that's passing. So let's just create this object. And there's no good way to do this in Xcode that I know. Let's see, I think we'll call that part of the pipeline. Okay, so I'm just going to assume into existence this constructor. It takes an array of things, and let's just make that exist. So I'm just doing minimal stuff to get it going there. And this is pipeline.swift. And we'll make a class. Init takes, well, let's say, I'm going to start using the word stages, but it's any transform. I may have worked on that word transform too. Okay, and we have a variable. And we'll initialize it. Okay, so that should be legal to create it, but parsons code view isn't expecting it. So let's modify that. Actually, let me make this public for now. Okay, so where's his constructor? Well, he doesn't have a constructor. Let's just say pipeline. Okay, and now we're going to have to get to the stages. It was the array, so we're getting to the array again. All right, That's pretty minimal. And then down here, our test needs to create a pipeline. Okay. And what's up here? I think you just haven't woken up. Okay. And let's make, well, tests shouldn't be affected. Okay. Now let's create pipeline tests while we're here. Okay, test pipeline. Okay. Oops. And I'm not going to put any tests in. All right. And since we're touching UI stuff, I think we'll just make a quick taste here. Open the file, no scaling, run. Yep, looks good. Okay. All right, so let's commit that. Create pipeline pass to Parsons code report. All right, now this code is sort of okay, but this code is the one I want to work on. So here I have something that is operating on pipeline and nothing comes in. It's just purely operating on the pipeline. So I would like to move this over to the pipeline, and I think I'll extract a method. Whoops. Let's try a different keystroke. Well, you don't want to do that for me, huh? No. Okay. Well, I'll just extract it directly then. Okay, so we're going to make this be a method here. Does something and it produces a packet. Okay, reduce, starting from an empty packet, just accumulate this stuff. And this is self.stages. And return result. Okay, now this, I'm going to make it say return pipeline dot transform. We may find a better word. Okay, and it sets these variables from that. Okay, so this is an extract method. All right, and we'll commit that. Push that. Okay, now I want to find out. Well, that's sort of stage one. I'm pretty happy that that's working. Make it operate from a model. Okay, actually, we'll do this one first. But when I say that, what I'd like to have is our view being drawn based on the pipeline, not based on knowing that array of stuff. And maybe I don't Actually, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm trying to get a Ask Apple session and see if they can enlighten me on this. But what I do think is probably, well, there may or may not be any tests on this functionality. Let's see. If there are, they would probably be under Parsons Code Transform. Oh. I don't know why I can't just set it and forget it on these sorting, but it's the way. Okay, bends its output to a packet. Result equals transform.transform. No, that's pretty much not related to our pipeline. Okay. Transform equals Parsons Code Transform. Is that test the right test? Parsons Code Transform. That's really a test of the transform. Let's see what we got. Parsons test. No, it's the Parsons Code itself. Okay. Yeah, so this test doesn't exist, I guess, is my conclusion. All right, so let's do a split screen here. Pipeline and tests. Okay. So I'm going to backfill some tests and transforms. Let's see what we got. Pipeline. This, I'm going to move this up. Okay, that's testing the actual quantization. That's a good thing. This is the transform, which kind of, it's really the stage. And I don't know, I may want to work on my protocol names, but what I think I can do all right, let's define them in the tests. All right, we'll make a little helper class. Test transform is a transform. And he's got some obligations. Is active. Will default to true. I don't care about that. What's called a transformation type is transformation. All right, and then I guess let's give it an extra little bit of memory. This is the, what is this? It's kind of a, I'll call it a footprint of type string. And let's do init and footprint of string self.foot equals foot. Okay. Now, packet, I'm not going to worry about the contents too much. Really, it's got, well, these two are kind of an output, title and string, and output. Tunes is an input. Normally, it converts tunes to tunes or tunes to outputs. I don't know if that's a permanent condition, but I think for now we'll just use output, and all I'm going to do is attach the footprint. Well, let's put it on maybe a colon. Okay, so anybody who does their job, output and scope. Packet. Anybody who does their job is going to attach the footprint to it, so we can tell who's active in our pipeline. Okay, and so our test. Let's make sure. What do I want to do? One thing would be just to make sure it does the transforms. So let's just test applies transforms. And the way we'll do that is we'll make a pipeline. And we'll put an array, and in the array, let's make test transform step 1. And okay, active, true. We'll default it active, and allow its closure argument not contained in a closure. Oh, that's input. Well, let's call it packet. Okay, so if I have this pipeline, do I have to say append? I hope that's the problem. Okay. We can take the, I guess the input is a better name now. We'll take the input. We want this one. So packet, we want input, and then output is going to be input.output. Okay, now you can see why I don't like that. Plus, well, let's do it this way. Output is input.output followed by, I guess we'll do this, colon footprint. Okay, and output slash expected. Okay. Okay, so it's going to take the original packet, change its output to packet current output plus a colon plus the footprint. Okay. And this then, so if I call let actual equal pipeline dot transform, okay, then actual dot output should be equal to colon step 1 colon step 2 colon step 3. Okay, I think that is accurate. Okay, you're running through 3 steps, you put a colon, and then, well, you put the existing output, which starts empty, colon, next step, and so on. So I think that should be okay. I think we're doing it right over here. These are kind of boring. All right. And this should work. It's what we think we're doing right now. Now, I'm not trying every aspect of it. I just assume you call transform on it, and there you go. Okay, good. All right, now let's, well, let's do something similar, but doesn't apply in active transforms. Okay, so let's let inactive equal this. And inactive dot is active equals false. Okay. And this is inactive. And I expect step 2 to go away. Okay. This I expect to fail. All right. And it fails because step 2 is there. Yep. Okay. Let's work on this. So pipeline transform, it reduces packet stages. Well, the thing is, we only want to keep certain stages. So let's add a filter. Okay, and this is, I think we can say $0 dot is active. Except we want to filter closure argument not containing a closure. Form transform packet result equals stages. Well, let's make this and double check filter is included. Okay, good. We only want to include stages that are active or transforms that are active. And I'm not sure how people format this, but I'm putting in a little breathing space. Okay, and this, let's... I think that's okay. Maybe this is not necessary. Packet transform in, transform a packet. Okay. All right, so we're doing the same thing, but before we run, we filter out anybody who's not active. And I think that'll pass. Okay, now in our content view, we'd commented this out because an inactive thing was getting activated because it always activated everything. So now we have it wrapped in a class and we can control it a little better. I think it'll be easier to manage this. We will run tests. You can't see that in our unit tests, really. I don't know if there is a way to do a view and instantiate it for unit tests per se. I know John Reed was working on this a little bit, but I'm not sure where he ended up. Okay. I thought I said run. Okay, so what we should see is manual input x1 key of G. That should fail. That should get some error stuff. Okay. I want to work on these font colors and stuff too, by the way, but that's another issue. Okay. The problem is if we turn file, so what happened is if we turn file input on and now we have manual input, if the pipeline did it even though it wasn't there, that would be kind of a problem. Okay, so let's select no scaling and run, and there we go. Okay, notice there's no quantizer, and that doesn't show up in our thing. Okay, I'm very happy. All right, make filter, make pipeline filter out inactive stages. Now, I think the better model would be don't put them in there in the first place, but I'm not sure that's not going to be so easy for us. Okay, so I had a good discussion with Mike Hill and Brian Beecham last night, and talking about different ways to manage these inputs and so on. And we struggled to get that select one thing going. Mike Hill's suggestion was maybe we should just keep track of the selection as an index and let this thing own that selection, and then it decides what to put in the pipeline. So right now our pipeline is very it gets set and it doesn't get touched. Okay. We just set it once and things are in or out because they're active or not. And Mike's approach would move away from this filtering being necessary, and the test would go away too, because we would just say if it's in there, it's active, and we don't even need the is active flag, at least for the purposes of this, for the pipeline. The flag might be derived from the pipeline, in fact. Okay. Now, how we get from here to there is the trick. But what I would really like is I would like this view to be driven by looking at this pipeline object. Right now it's not observable or any of that stuff, so there's no chance it's going to do that. Okay. But I would like to make it that way. And that means I would give it modifier functions that said, here are the stages, or I don't know. All right. So I'm thinking that, but maybe beforehand. Okay. First, I think nobody cares that it's public now. We just needed that as a little crutch to get going. Let's make sure. Oh, I should even say private. Okay, refactor. Public to private. Good. Now, one thing is the pipeline manages itself as stages, and I think these really are the transforms, and we should separately track who's the input, the source, and who's the sink, the output. I don't know how that will go. Nobody's going to own that directly. Should they? Okay. What if I added that? So I would put something in that's a sink, a source, say for starters. Maybe sink is easier because we only have one. Let's do that. Is this a refactoring? I think it is. We're going to add parameters for it. Okay, so private var sync, let's start on the bottom, is a sync. I don't have sync. Transform source. Okay, let's do sync. Protocol sync is a transform. And I don't know if he has any particular knowledge. Let's just get the names out there first. Okay, he's a sync. And we're going to ask you to pass in the sync. I guess that'll be after this. And let's name it. I mean, this is going to be it's kind of a moment. Okay, and sync of type sync. I want you to name it. I'm going to name this transforms. Any transform and self dot stages equals transforms. Okay, for now. Okay, use of protocol sync may be written, must be written. Wow. Okay. I say any transform, so I guess I can't complain. All right, and I'm not even going to, well, I guess I can. I can say self.sync equals sync. But I think I also want to well, do I want to? I'm trying to make this work with the existing structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say stages.append sync. Okay, so my relationship is stages is all the transforms, and the convention is the last one is the sync, and there will always be one. Okay, protocol sync must be written any sync. Okay, fair enough. All right, and so I think I'm affecting the calls like this. So this is transforms. And that array, but we're going to take this one out. Okay, transforms. And sync is parsons code report. Parsons code does not conform. Okay, let's go find parsons code report. Up here. Parsons code transform. Let's make him a sync. Okay. And how's it like that now? All right, and I think our Parsons code report. Parsons code view. Down at the bottom here. Yeah. It needs to say transforms are. And then sync is Parsons code. Okay. That seems okay. How's content view looking? Okay, he likes it now. All right. I don't think this changes anything for anybody. Well, okay, changes that for this. Let's make a step 4. One, two, three, 4. Okay, I think that should be okay. Test transform does not conform to sync. Well, let's make him a transform and a sync. Okay, now this one is transforms. Test 1 inactive, test 2, and we'll add another test 4 again. Okay. I think those should all pass. And they shouldn't affect this. Let's do a manual input. X1, T title, key of G, ABC, D, E, F, G. Let's add quantize in by a quarter. Those are eighths by default. And we run, we should see everything quantized by a quarter. Title and that. Now, okay. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Add sync as a separate parameter to transform. Okay. Now's where it's going to get a little weird. I want to look at, I forget the name now. We moved it out. It wasn't the user interface. Bug demo view. We could probably get rid of that. I don't think anybody's referencing this. We were using it for our investigation a couple weeks ago, and Playground was not working, so let's take that out. I don't know if there, but well, there must not be. Didn't show the references. Okay. Where's user interface? Content error. Pipeline? No. Vertical icon. That's more of a helper shape. I'm going to go from the content to find it. Okay, let's see. So, oh. that's this one. Body is icon. Oh, pipeline selectors is the class. Okay. Are you? Oh, you're in content view. Okay, let's pull that out to a file. Those errors went away. Good. Okay. Delete bug demo view. Move pipeline selectors to its own file. Okay. So, yeah, this one, right? He's being given all these objects, and maybe he needs them. I don't know yet. But what I really would like is I would like to pass in the pipeline. Do I need specific views for these? That's the question I have. See, I don't think I do. No, but something's different. Right, I got to have the possibilities. So the possibilities, yeah, because I want to go through this object, and I don't mind saying, give me your sources, and I'll put the text input here with my style. And then I iterate through the sources. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe what I need to do is tell you all the sinks. Tell you all the sources, tell you all the transforms, tell you all the sinks, and then you can ask for them as possibilities. But if you want to know the active stages, then you got a different list going on. And things move in and out of the active stages, but they're candidates from the other. All right. Let's see. To make that work, let's make this be sinks and turn it into an array of any sink. Okay. And this is sinks array of any sink. Okay. Self.sinks equals sinks. Paid stages append. Let's take the first one. We're sort of assuming there always will be at least one, and I think that's a fair assumption. Okay. Stages. Let's make a transforms. As well. Okay, we're going to get sources up here at some point. Okay, so let's peel off sinks first. All right, so now what did I omit? Oh, self.transforms. Okay, so stages. I think this is really, it's really going to be the active part, but we'll get there. Self.transform equals transforms. Okay, so we'll save the transforms, save the sinks, and all the action happens on stages. And right now we're just copying everything in. Okay, I think that's okay. All right, now we got to get our callers passing in sinks. Where are you? Where's pipeline? Oh, there it is. Sinks. Okay. Parsons code report. Okay, and then Parsons code view needs it. Sinks. And then our pipeline tests. Where's the pipeline? It's transforms, sinks. And sinks. Let's see who we missed. I should have thought of this way before, I think. Okay, run, tests. Okay, and commit that. So, make pipeline take a list of sinks rather than a singleton. Yeah, a single one. Singleton is overloaded these days. Okay. Oh, all right. So now, if I make this private get, private set. Okay, you can see the link. You can see the sinks, but you can't set them directly. Okay. All right. That, I think, gives me enough for my pipeline view. What do we call it? Selectors. Okay, so I'm saying, we'll see if this really works. Okay, I want to do pipeline. Oh, I don't have the pipeline. Okay. Let's see. We need to add that. Who took the pipeline? Content view. Oh, we only give it to the Parsons code view. Ugh. What object is that? Pipeline body. See, the problem I have is the way stuff gets initialized. Like I can't, and this is a quirk of Swift. I don't think Java has this problem. I don't think C# does. But when I initialize these fields, I can't create a new field that depends on the previous fields being initialized. And if you recall my pipeline, it takes a list of these things. Now we get around that because we pass we create the pipeline object as we pass it through, and it will hold the pipeline as a field, and we have to make it observable at some point, but it's not yet. Okay, and it's just held in the Parsons code view. Nobody else even knows about the pipeline, but now I'm saying the pipeline should drive the selector stuff. Okay, and pipeline selectors should know that pipeline view too. So I can't create it twice here because it's two separate objects and they would have nothing to do with each other. So I think I'm going to have to extract this view out. Ugh. Pipeline body. Well, maybe, no, pipeline body. Maybe I can, no. I was going to say, it could pass it to pipeline body. I think it should pass it to pipeline body, but it should also pass it to selectors. And since it's created in pipeline body, if I pull it back up to this level and passed it in here, well, that'd be a step forward. But the problem is I can't pass it here too because I don't have anywhere to create it. I can't create it here and use it. You know, it doesn't work. I've tried it 3 times. I keep wanting it to work, but no, it does not work. I'm finally kind of catching on some of this stuff. All right, but I think the way I can make it work is if I extracted everything in here, and I don't know if I can. Okay, can I extract a method? Yes, okay, so whole body. Now, something's funny. Well, it's relying on all these inputs and stuff being around as fields on the whole thing. So I can't extract this out to another file, but we can pull back the pipeline now. Okay, so I want to make this creation. I want that to come in. So let's pass it to whatever this body thing is, pipeline body. Okay, pipeline body. We're going to pass this pipeline with its transforms. Someday I will get the text straightened out on this, but kind of in a hot rush right now. So this should become pipeline. And then pipeline should be passed in. Is of type pipeline. Okay. And that's passed in and used here. Okay. That feels right. Oh, but where does he get called? Pipeline body. Okay, I've moved it up one level. All right. I think that's a start. Let's see. Tell you what, I'm going to close this side and get a little space to read this. Okay. So pipeline body takes the pipeline now and passes it through to the view. Okay, let's format some. Okay, pipeline body formats the parser pipeline and passes it through the view. Okay, this should work. Shouldn't change anything. And we will know if our file runs through the pipeline. It should be okay. Yeah. All right. Now, I'm also calling pipeline selectors, and I would like that to take a pipeline. So let's give that to pipeline selectors. We'll pass it first. Pipeline of type pipeline. and it's going to be ignored for the moment because we don't do anything with it. All right, I'm just going to get it passing in. Okay. Now I need pipeline, and I want to pull this out as pipeline. Sorry, let's make sure that, yeah, that works as pipeline. And then pipeline is an argument here. Okay, so both of these take the pipeline, but the caller needs to provide it. And it can do that because it's, by the time the body runs, we have these fields set, we can use them in this object. And again, this should just run the same. Nobody's using that pipeline on selectors, but we're setting ourselves up pre-refactoring. And run. Yep, looking good. Okay, now, okay, commit that. Make, how about create pipeline at the top level of content view, pass it down to views that want it. Okay. Now I think we get our payoff. Let's see. All right, so pipeline selectors. It knows the pipeline. It doesn't do anything with it. So let's keep it around. It should be observed if we're going to look at it. Private var pipeline of pipeline. I really don't know how. Okay. Let the styler worry about that. Okay. So now we said there's going to be a pipeline. It should be observable. Our pipeline is not observable, but we can make it. Okay, so we're making it observable so we can drive our UI from it. Okay, so generic struct pipeline is a class, so it can be an observable object. All right, now pipeline selectors. Let's save that pipeline. Okay. And now in the analysis stage, that's really the sinks. So I should be able to say pipeline.sinks dot this should be for each pipeline.sinks. I guess they are all independent objects. I think I can do it this way. Type any sync cannot conform to hashable. Saying ID self means it has to be hashable. Right. What is? Let's look at how we can do for each. We want the capitalized one that's in Swift UI. These are all Swift. Okay, for each is a list. Right, okay, this is what we want. All right, so I can do this. I can give a range, I can give some data, a binding. Well, I think this is the one we want. That's the one I used. Rotor content, I don't know what that is. Okay, let's try the for each like this. I think it'll tell us we need something else, but any sync cannot conform to identifiable. That seems reasonable to want. Okay, so if they're identifiable just really is there to let us, it's so the view processing can see the icon's identifier or the analysis's identifier and say, okay, I know which one you are. So if things had to be redrawn, it would know the order they were in and all that stuff. If they all had the same name, it wouldn't be clear which one goes first or not. But identifiable, I think, is reasonable. Okay, so let's take that mission to make our transforms identifiable. Let's open transform. All right, and I think we're going to say identifiable. That should give us an obligation. Yeah, I'm not sure if you said that before I went down this path, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm not sure why this isn't why it's building. That's really weird. Let me erase and welcome back. I don't think I have them in there already, so I'm not sure how they're building. Yeah, I don't see any identifiers on them. How weird. Oh, sorry, pipeline selectors. Okay. Well, this should complain. Cannot conform to identifiable. Why not? Sync is a transform, which is identifiable. I don't know why it's not making me put those in. Let me put it on the class and see if it barks. Wow. And that's the sort of thing, right? Okay, yeah, now we're talking. Async. Must be public good. Okay. Maybe that'll wake it up. Oh, so weird. Transform is identifiable. Let me add in these things. I assume the type is UUID. Okay. File source, parsons code, quantizer. Text input. I still don't know why this is not complaining. Alrighty. I mean, I would expect this to be what it wanted me to put in. I'm not sure why saying it was observables aren't by default identifiable. Okay, there we go. Get. All right, let's see if that builds. Okay. Any sync cannot conform to identifiable. Okay, so let me try. Sync is a transform. Transform is identifiable. So to me, that should be okay. Parsons code transform is our sync. It does conform to identifiable. I'm going to build again. Is this an issue of sync versus any sync? I wouldn't think that would matter because they all promised to do it. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why it's needed. Test transform does not. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now this is coming from our for each. And that's looking good. We'll take the short one. Okay. Yay. All right. So now we are made transforms be identifiable and make pipeline selectors get analysis icons from the pipeline. And that's a big deal, I think. It's making me happy anyway. All right. So theoretically, we can do that for the others. pipeline selectors. Well, we can do it for transforms. So we can do the same kind of thing. Pipeline dot transforms ID transform there. See, okay, yeah, he's private still. That's good. Well, it's not good, but we'll get it there. Pipeline. Okay, so the transformations in the sinks are now available. Hopefully the error went away. Transforms is inaccessible. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, and I think we saw it go by in the flash. Oh no. Oh, did I leave it on sinks? Where's my pipeline? Transforms equals transforms. Sinks equals sinks. Stages equals transforms. Append sinks. Is that... Let me make sure. Well, 3 copies, and none of them are a real transformation. All right, let's make sure our content view provides the right stuff in the transformations. File input, text input, quantizer. Okay. Oh, I've taken something wrong here. Transform is not that. This should be analysis. And this should be transform. And transform cannot conform to a transform. Can this work with any transform? I think so. I want to back out. Okay, that's how we did this. I'm just going to be generic here and say $0 because I think there's so little going on, it's okay. For each sink, transform it. That should complain, any sink. All right, let's go to icon. Can I make this be any observable transform? In which case, this has to be any observable transform. Remove any. Any sink cannot conform to a transform. One icon. Let's make sure. Now, icon, why it was. Oh, here it conforms to transform. Okay. Observed object. this, I don't know why this can't be any. Well, I don't know if it's an error. I guess it is. Can I force it over here? I don't know why I would have to. Um, on the recipient side in here. Okay. Cannot. Any object protocols and or a base class. Observable. Well, transform is a protocol. I saw somewhere I can. Well, no, it's an opaque type. Sum this must specify only any object, protocols, or a base class. And this is the same message down there. Observable transform is not a protocol. I don't know if there's a way to tell it. Someone suggested this. That is a protocol, right? So you would think it would know it's a protocol. But I think that's equivalent. I'm not sure why it would. Oh, so hopeful about this. Okay. Opaque must specify transform. I mean, can I do this? No, that's not going to work. I don't know why. I mean, it definitely knows this is the protocol. Oh dear. And so when I'm creating them directly, it specifically knows like, okay, type of quantizer. It's quantizer. Result from sinks conform to sync. Yeah, let's check that. Pipeline. I need to move this over. Sinks conform to any sync. So I would say that conforms to the protocol. I'm a little fuzzy when it comes to the details of any and some and all that. I think I have to have any here because Well, it's kind of genericizing it, is what I think. Okay, so this definitely conforms. I mean, it's an array of things conforming to sync, I think. Um, let's try a variation. Let's leave this for transform. Let me make another one to sync. If I can make this work this way, maybe we can figure out some way to conform to each other. And they're all the same. I'm not using anything specific to the particular one. Transformation type, transform name, icon name is active. Those are all available. Yeah, so all those fields are available in every transform. So I don't quite get the issue. But okay, we made icon 2 is syncs only. Let's try that over here. Icon 2, let's build that. Already we're unhappy. Oh, I guess I can take these sums off. He's not happy. Maybe an artifact. Any sync cannot conform to sync. Why not? I don't get it at all. Any sync cannot conform to sync. You would think if it's any sync, I know it's got those methods that sync promises, so it seems like it should conform. See if I can get them to type something. Oh, type any cannot. Type. Okay. Whoa. Well, this is. We can now use these in the parameter position. Okay, they all conform to vehicle. both are not the same. Okay, yeah. Yeah, existential type. That name does not speak to me. Opaque type I kind of get. It's not mandatory, but you'll get a compiler error. Okay. Okay, my car is any vehicle. Right, it contains the box in a box. Okay, any sync, but I think it's not going to let me. I don't think I can put any here, but I think I need to. Right. Has no effect. I don't think it should have an effect. Oh, this. Okay. Let me take this out. Observable is a sync. This is a sync. I may get to say any sync at some point, but now I have to. Okay, I'll take it. A sync cannot conform to observable object. Okay. Observed object. I'm taking in yeah, that's not the right question. Okay, this is more like it cannot conform to it. Type any name cannot forward. Oh, can I get down to the real object? Observed has to be a concrete type. Well, this feels like what I was trying to do. Okay, let's go back to this one. Protocol name of observable object. Okay. I've got a class that publishes the field, and then I want to, well, they're not really passing anything in, but observed object var of type protocol var of type. I guess he's saying it's got to be directly that. Type any sync. Type syncs the protocol. Oh, that's why you're saying the concrete class? Observed object has to be a concrete class that conforms. Well, that's what I don't want, because I've got a bunch of different syncs, potentially, of different types. So that solution can't do it. Or add a type parameter so it conforms. That's what we started. Let's work back onto T protocol name. In our case, that was transform or sync. Observed object T. Observed about some value gets to the value. Maybe that's my problem. Okay, so let's make this generic. T of sync. I think that's all he's doing. Colon view. Observed object of T. This becomes T. Or is it AT? He doesn't pass it in. Observe me, my class. Okay, so he passes in the concrete object. I don't know if that'll... Hey, I can't pronounce your name, sorry. Sayak Vinod, 123, welcome. You get to watch me struggle through opaque and existential types. Now I can say the names, but I don't seem very good at getting them to work. Sai, nice to see you. All right, so this one we're constraining this to be a sync. We store it as T. We reference it as T here, concrete type. I think the problem's going to be in the call side, right? Generic parameter content. Okay, so our syncs dot some, no, dot. Oh, how did they do it over here? Some value? That's the reference here. I don't think I can say some value. Cannot convert sync to a type binding of C. Yeah. And I think now we're back to sync. Yeah, any sync does not conform to sync. Okay, let's see. Whoops. I don't think coding, but I was thinking. That's okay. Thanks. All right. Okay, so we're going through this problem that's kind of making the types of our objects line up. So I have sync objects. They're generic in the sense that they're any sync, and I want to pass them into this thing that wants to do something with them. Now the code here on icon seems like it understands. It doesn't complain about doing anything with them. Transform. Yeah, it's manipulating that. Okay. But okay, this answer, make the observable concrete. Is there a way we should? You have to have an explicit type. Yeah, it uses a type parameter. Problem is I don't have an explicit type by the time I want to do this. Well, okay, here's somebody else's try. How to define a protocol as a type for observed object. Okay, observable, publishes title, extension, published var title equals, okay, fine. Item view takes observed object, item view model. Yeah, they're not allowed. Thank you. Okay. Item view model where models item view model. That's kind of what I did. The problem was on the calling side. Ugh. Look at Shui. Oh boy. Publish variable without distractions. Okay. Observable object. Actual view model conforms to it with published string. Yep. A struct view model where view model is a my view model and access last entry. View model of my view model. I know to build out logic for any type using my model. Yeah. Okay, protocol stays the same. Oh boy. To erase item view model. Can't use property wrappers. Sorry, you're watching me read. Okay, you got a protocol, observed object. You want to make it observable and published, yeah. I don't see anything there. UI uses generics, yes, that's what we did. Yeah, the problem is I have an any. I don't know if I'm going to say the right words for this. Existential any with examples. Doesn't yet have support for opaque return types. They're protocols. I think that's the issue I'm having. Does not enough information until the type is set. That sounds like what people were doing. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, we can try that. Okay, we've dealt with this stuff. I guess I can leave a content around just. Okay. Okay, don't need that. Okay, so I think what I have. Let's make a protocol. I don't know if I make an observable object to be interesting. Get. Okay, and I create a class that conforms to it. Class my proto of proto. I don't put published here. I'm not sure if any published up there, but I definitely put it down here. Okay, I only promised to do a get. I do a get. All right, now, x of any proto equal my proto. Okay, so I think this is what's happening through a chain of things. I create an object. It gets passed into an array of mixed mixed concrete values. So it has to become an any proto. Let me make a 1. And a 2. I guess if I did this, that would probably help. Two. Okay, so somewhere I have an array. The type of this is going to become any proto. Oh, now it's any proto. Okay, I think I can make it be any proto rather than just any. Okay, now your type should be any proto. Okay. and I want to pass it to a view. Let's give him, I guess I should put this above it. Okay, and he needs a proto. And what his type is, well, I'd like it to be proto, but I don't think I can. So I want to create a content view with proto being array sub 0. Okay, and I think that should be a syntax error somewhere in the process. Prototype must be written any proto. Yeah, that's what I expected here. And I think if I take this off, I should get a complaint. Let's go this far. Use of protocol as a type must be written any prototype. Okay, yeah, that's where I got there. All right, now this, let's print the proto value. Okay, and I feel like that's what we're not being allowed to do. Property value declared inside a protocol cannot have a wrapper. 7. Yeah, okay, I didn't think there was a that there. Don't know why I didn't complain earlier. Now this works. The proto takes any. This takes any proto. Pipeline.syncs, in my analogy, is any transform. So his type should be any transform. Come on. Type any sync cannot conform to sync. Yeah, icon2 takes a sync, I think. Okay, can I make this any sync? I think this is not allowed. Right, constrained to a non-protocol. Okay, so I took out the generic. Let's take that out. Any sync and any sync. Okay. Somebody's unhappy. Any sync cannot conform to observable object. That's the problem I have. Okay. Okay, make sure my thing is analogous. I don't have observed object in there in the playground. Proto, any proto. I mean, I think this should be like icon. It's taking this thing. Now I don't change the transform. What if I take this off? Was the observed object the problem? Oh my goodness. Okay. That is coming from this. Okay, I can make that $0 again. Okay. I guess. Now, why is that working here? Any sync. Okay, can I use icon? Any sync cannot conform to transform. That just seems wrong. Okay, but icon 2. Okay, let me put this one back. Okay, take the add published out. If I make this any transform. Any sync cannot conform to transform. What if I do this? Any sync cannot conform to transform. I don't want to write this thing 3 times. I don't think it's too hard. Any sync. I don't know why it's complaining there. What if I do here? It's happy. No. Okay, before I took this off and this off. Okay, I have to write it any sync here and here. Is that what I did in the playground? My view says any proto. Okay. That seems bizarrely not relevant. Oh, this is icon. I can't put any if I use generics. So one difference is I don't have published here. So let's see if I need that. I'm not doing anything observable on it, I don't think. Maybe I am. We'll see. Oh yeah, it is. See, doesn't change format without being observable. That tells me icon 2 probably doesn't work here. Yep. Okay, but if I make this observed object, I think it's going to complain. Any sync cannot conform to observable object. Make transform product. Well, unfortunately, transform already does. That's why I'm not happy. That's sync is a type of transform. Let's see. Sync is transform, and transform is observable. So it's indirectly observable, and it's got fields that get observed. Any given sync. Now it's funny you can't tell the protocol what to make observable, but the sync, let's see, where's Parsons code transform is the sync. Okay, and it does publish is active. That's the one thing it needs to access. As a binding. Well, I've spent an hour on this problem. I don't know if I want to go much further. This is not a solution because it doesn't. I can either get the type right of any sync, but if I do, then I can't be observable. Any sync cannot conform to observable. See, I'm not sure why any foo does not conform to anything that foo conforms to. That just seems wrong to me. All right, so I'm going to take out icon 2, kind of get things back to a good state here. Okay, I'm not going to do the for each in pipeline selectors. It's this. Okay. Make sure everything's back to normal. Oops, I want to run it first. Okay. This swaps in and out. That swaps in and out. And that swaps in and out. Okay. They're still connected then. All right. So I think to original setup, but leave target being identifiable. Sorry, that's transform. Yeah. Okay, so there's something in the playground that's not the same. Oh, it's that observed stuff. I'm not observing anything here. Right. Okay, so if I want to make this observed object, any proto, that's going to complain, I think. Yeah. If I don't make it that, if I give this a, oh, what is it? Touch, on tap. Well, let's make it get set. Okay, I think what'll happen is it's going to accept it, but I think when it does this, it's not going to update. That's my theory. Oh, it may update here. Okay. Okay. Well, I can't print that there. Okay. Right. That doesn't update because it said it was read-only or static, basically. If I do observed object, I gotta take off the any proto. Any proto cannot conform to observable. Now this could, but other things are going to be unhappy. Protocols type must be written any proto. Yeah, so I've got a conflict there. Okay. So do we have these kind of... We'd like to make it observed object so it updates. But that conflicts with any proto. Okay. I think yeah, if I take off the any, something breaks. Right. Must be written any proto. Okay. Okay. I think that will be helpful if I have to get some certified help. Let's see. May demonstrate in playground. Demonstrate that at cool. All right. Well, that to do. Make pipeline include active stages only. We did that. That's today. All right. And we make pipeline. This is, we try to do pipeline selection. But we can't sort out the types. So that's still to do. Let's see what else we can do. Drag and drop. I don't think I want to worry about that. This. So I'm going to switch gears to this text input. And I think I want to first put manual input, or maybe input manual manually edited text in tech manual inputs output. Okay, if I do something with manual input, x1 t title key of G ABC, and I run it, I don't get any information about the fact that this came from manual input. I'd like that to happen. So let's go to manual. Text input source. This actually should become manual input source. And manual input view. Just to keep the names similar. Okay. Any other text input? Transforms, no. Parsons code. Shouldn't care. Okay, some tests might be affected. Text input source tests. And nothing on the view. Okay. Let me resort this. And this. Let's run that. Yeah, thanks for the playground advice. I tend to put it off, and you're right, just going back in there and taking a run at it, it's worth it. Okay. Rename text input to manual input. Okay, and look for that manual input. I would probably make it iPad or Mac. I can't see myself trying to do this stuff on a little iPhone, but I could probably do it on my iPad. I built most of it. I built the targets that have support it, but I haven't been testing iPad at all. Basically, I probably need to. Okay, so let's find our manual input. Source does not do the trans. Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah, so I would like to make sure that the source, manual input source, puts output on there that says the manually edited thing. Okay, starts with no errors, transform with no errors, with errors finds them, resets errors. Okay, fine. Probably this case is the most similar. Writes manually edited to output. Okay, source is manual input source. I don't really care what the input is. I just want to make sure that source.output packet.output should be can I set the output? I don't think I care. What wording did I use here? Input manually edited text. That test will fail. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason I can't put it in the App Store. It's got a, I'd say it's about halfway done as far as like what I'd consider kind of a minimal set of things. But I think if I got a couple analyses, a couple of transforms, that's kind of a base to work from. Anyway, all right. So this should come up at blank, yeah, and we're gonna make that happen in the transform. Okay, and he's a source, so he's okay to put it in there directly. Okay, I think it should work. All right, and let's run. Run. Okay, I would like a little space after it. Oh, it should put the new line in on its own. I'll do TCR for a moment. Yeah, and if I quantize, okay, yeah, so I'm getting that information in there. The space here looks a little much to me. Let's see what's putting that in. Not content view, it's got to be manual input view. Oh no, Parsons code. Okay, there's the text. I don't know if I need that. Yeah, I don't think it's doing anything. Title. Let's take out that. Let's, oops. Parsons code view. this in here. It's a little better. I don't know if I need that. And okay, let's run that. Yeah. Okay. We can do. Well, let's just open Noscion. When it's full, when it's more than a screen, it really. Oh, the ID stuff did go. Okay, well that's not much padding on the sides. Let's put some around the whole thing. Okay, we'll try that. That really is not enough. I don't know, tweaking that stuff. Yeah, maybe. Is that this? Oh, I need the box. Brackets. Didn't ring. I don't know if it ran. It's not adding it in there. Oh, I should put it on the scroll view reader. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's an improvement. Okay. I do more? Oh, yeah. Which one is that? Oh, man, important. Let's see if I used a sheet in this project before. Yes. Okay. What I'd like to do is I would like to put the editing stuff in a separate sheet. Where is it? Input view. Yeah, this content. Okay, I gotta find the caller. Manual. Put source view. Yeah, this body text editor view, that stuff. I'd really like to put that in its own window. Is that? I guess that's attached to the input view. And I think this is strictly UI consideration. So what I'm going to do is give myself state, show editor, is false. We're going to put a sheet on this. $show editor, brackets for content. Okay, and then I want, well, this is the heart of it. We may not finish this in 5 minutes. Okay, because I'm going to need more than that. But I'm going to put a button that says something. Edit text. And tab is show editor equals true. And then I'll put a dismiss button on here. I don't know if I have to. Okay, and who's complaining? String. Oh, did I bracket it? Oh, sorry, button, sorry. Oops, that's not the right one. We'll have to style that button. Okay, that's a little short. All right, but it gives us a start. Okay, so inbox on a separate sheet. We need to style the buttons, set the size and placement of the editing box, etc. Okay, and this we've done. So I should be able to say X1, T title, key of D, B, C, D, D, C, B, A. Now, okay. Good. Well, this pipeline thing, I feel like it's so close, but I just can't quite get the right combination. And I don't know, some of those pages made it sound like maybe what I want is not going to work, but we'll see. And a little bit of tweaking of the background colors and all that off camera, but a little work on the input. I think it looks nicer, smaller like that. We can make a much bigger window for it and all that stuff. It'll come out all right. All right. Next time is, well, my plan is tomorrow 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. I have put in, Apple has this thing this week where Ask Apple. You can get a half-hour slot with some developer expert. And I put in some description of the problems I've been running into around this pipeline stuff we did today. And my hope is they'll give me a time slot. I have no control over the time of it. So if that overlaps this, I'll probably, delay us or quit early or stop in the middle or something, see what we can do with what they get, what I get from them. It's kind of a lottery, so I may not have any of that, and we'll just go from there. But with luck, I'll get somebody to help me figure out what was going on there. I appreciate Sasha's attempt to drag me into something that might work. But yeah, I feel it's close. I don't want to have to be doing all that manual stuff to lay out things. I want to make a flexible pipeline. I may do a little work tonight and finish the pipeline so I have the notion of the sources, the transforms, and the sinks in there. I think that'll be a good thing. So the stages will be what's the stuff you're actually showing, and that's the right hand side pipeline, and then the transforms, sources, transforms, and sinks will be what are the possible things you could show, and that'll be on the button icons on the left hand side, and between them I hope we can make that work. All right, well, thanks for joining. I'll catch you again in the future. Take care. Bye bye.